So let's convert to polar. So these are rectangular equations. How do we know they're rectangular equations? Because they have x's and y's. Very good. So the first one, part A, 2x plus 5y equals 7. What type of equation is that? Linear. It's a nice linear, not too bad looking. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do a Joan Rivers and give it about 15 operations. So here we go. X is equal to what in terms of r and theta? R cosine theta. So we have 2 times r cosine theta. She's not here. It's going to be okay. I can get away with it. Next one. Y is what in terms of r and theta? Yep, plus 5 r sine theta. You know, to be honest, I don't need those parentheses there. Equals, on the right-hand side, it's just 7. Well, guess what, kids? That's all she wrote. So the rectangular equation, 2x plus 5y equals 7, is the same as the polar equation, 2r cosine theta plus 5r sine theta equals 7. So guess what? We went the wrong way. We went from something that was nice to something that was, ugh. But if you were to graph the answer we just got, an A, it would be a line. We're going to graph them pretty soon. B, on the other hand, is going to go a little bit nicer. X squared plus y squared equals 7 is what? Is a circle. Yeah. Correct. So if only we had a formula that had an x squared and a y squared. What does x squared plus y squared equal in polar? Squared. So x squared plus y squared is r squared. So r squared equals 7. So solving for r, you would get technically plus or minus radical 7, but as we discussed, as we didn't discuss, notice this is only in terms of r, which means theta could be any number. So as theta ranges from 0 to 360, your radius is always square root of 7 in either direction. So the plus or minus doesn't really matter. So you could just write r is the square root of 7. So what this means is you're going to have a circle of radius radical 7 as theta ranges through 0 to 360. So they both will make the same thing. X squared plus y squared equals 7 is a circle of radius radical 7. But it's a lot simpler in terms of polar. R is just the number radical 7. Questions? Good. All right, so that's converting to polar. So notice we keep using the exact same formulas over and over again. Mike, can you make sure that you don't provide those formulas for us on the test? Of course, student. There's no reason for me to provide those for you. Let's go the other way. Convert to rectangular. 2r sine theta minus 3 equals 0. How do we know that's first off in polar? It has an r and a theta. It does not have an x and a y. Good. Any thoughts? Yeah, r sine of theta is y, so instead of that r sine of theta, we can write 2y minus 3 equals 0. How would you solve for y? Yeah, and then divide by 2. There it is. So notice this got prettier. 2r sine theta minus 3 equals 0 is just the horizontal line. Y equals 3 halves. How about B? Yeah. There's a trick. notice that sine of theta by itself isn't really anything. I mean, technically it's y over r, so we could use that. So we would have r equals 2 times y over r. That's good. The problem is that we want to go all the way to rectangular, which means we don't want any r's anymore. So let's get rid of our r's. What should we do next? Let's multiply by r to clear out that fraction. So on the left, we'll have r squared. On the right, we'll have 2y. That's good. So the left is, the right's good to go. Bink! And r squared in terms of x and y is x squared plus y squared. Hooray! So to be honest, this got a little bit uglier. Does anyone know what x squared plus y squared equals 2y would look like? I have to think about it myself. Oh, I'm better now. What's the proper math term? We don't say ovals. Who says oval? An ellipse. Yep. That would turn out to be an ellipse.